Hello, this is Broyar, and welcome to a brand new Let's Play series for Victoria 3, also known as Can Broyar Learn How to Play Victoria 3? Because I've never actually played this game. I tried Victoria 2, I think probably almost 6 years ago now. It did not go well, let's just say that. Obviously, I do have familiarity with games like CK3, EU4, and things of that nature. But I've never tried Victoria 3 other than I was poking around for about an hour or so before I started the recording, just to kind of get familiar with some of the menu settings and things like that. So I don't actually know very much. I think I played maybe a year, 1837, something like that. I don't really know much about the game. So this is going to be a learning experience for me. I'm going to make mistakes. I guarantee you that. That's okay. If you've never played a grand strategy game, specifically a Paradox grand strategy game, the best way to play is just to get in there, learn something and make some mistakes on the way, and then learn from those mistakes and try again, you know. And so don't try to min-max every single aspect of the game. Like, it's just way too overwhelming in my opinion. And even on that note, don't go play like the biggest nation in the world. Yeah, sure, it sounds like it would be an easier game if you played as the #1 nation in the world from the get-go. In some ways it can be, but it's also very overwhelming. There's a lot of things, a lot of options, things like that. So I thought about playing as the United States. I actually loaded into a game as the United States, and I was like, wow, it's just information overload. There's just so much stuff going on. So I think that's one of those games that you might want to wait until later. But the cool thing about games like Victoria 3, CK3, EU4, any of those games, there's no real victory condition. The victory is just how you decide to create the story for yourself. So we're going to get into this and see where this goes. Let's jump right into a new game. Now, in Vicky 3 here, we do have some objective-based kind of stories. You don't, as far as I know, you don't have to follow this. It's just kind of you're going to get like journal entries that kind of prompt you in a general direction. But as far as I know, you can still basically play the game however you want. So, you know, we can go for some sort of economic dominance with the United States, Great Britain, Ottomans, Brazil, whatever. You know, try to make sure we have the highest GDP. We can go for this where we become more dominant just overall. We try to basically conquer the world. Some pretty good options there. Got egalitarian society, several different cool options here that you can play. So this will kind of help guide you in a direction and some goals and stuff like that. So that's the whole point about grand strategy games, is you want goals. You can also just play pure sandbox. Oh, I didn't mean to click that. That's all right. We'll jump back out here in a second. But you can play pure sandbox. I love this art. This is pretty cool. I mean, that's some good art right there. You can play, obviously, like I said, full sandbox, where you just pick your own story and jump right into it. We are going to go, let me go back, and we're going to play the Learn the Game mode, quite frankly. I think this Learn the Game mode, I played a little bit of it, like I said, about a year or so of it. It looks like it's going to help guide us. Not only is it going to tell us how to do certain things, it's just going to tell us why we even care, which I think is pretty cool. And the good thing about this is that I think all four of these are relatively small nations, so it shouldn't be too overwhelming for us up front. I think in honor of my Vicky 2 run, which I tried as Colombia, we're going to try Colombia again here. With the dissolution of Grand Colombia in 1830, New Granada stands alone and divided between its liberal and conservative factions. Will Colombia achieve greatness once more? And I think we can actually potentially form Grand Colombia again at some point. We do have achievements turned on. I will go in here to the game rules, though. All the other game modes are set to like a default setting. The Learn the Game modes do have the AI behavior and the AI aggression set to low and lenient, respectively. Or, well, I guess lenient and low, respectively. I'm going to change this. I'm going to set these back to default. Just set these as standard, just so it's like a normal game. We're still going to get the prompts of like journal entries that kind of help guide us, but at least the AI is going to be what you would normally see. Because I think that would be too easy if we went the other way. So we're going to go with this, Colombia. Let's jump right into here. I like this. All this artwork is really good artwork. It's really cool. There's so much here too. Like, got the ship over here with the steamship and the industry over on the right-hand side. All right, welcome to the Age of Progress. The year is 1836. Mariano Ospina is president of New Granada. The Industrial Revolution is well underway, bringing cataclysmic social change along with it. More than 20 years have passed since the Congress of Vienna imposed some semblance of order upon Europe, and unrest is once again starting to brew among the great powers. It will be up to you to guide New Granada to glory over the following centuries. We are playing 100 years. There's no one way to win in Victoria 3. That's what I said earlier. You set your own goals and experience different stories in the process of pursuing them. All right, cool. Actually, I can go. Let me just skip this lesson because I don't need to. It's just a lesson about the menu, which I don't think I need the lesson about the menu. All right, so here we are, New Granada. Again, ultimately, maybe someday we'll become Colombia. We got a little bit of, I guess we got basically all of Panama here. And of course, we've got our state here. We got Venezuela to the northeast, Ecuador to the south, Bolivia, which I think is... Yeah, I guess Bolivia's here. There's North Peru, South Peru. Obviously, Brazil's the big player down here. They are a pretty big nation. In fact, I think they're number... Yeah, they're number almost top 10. So they're number 11 currently in the world. We got Mexico further to the north, who is currently... Oh, they're actually number 24. They're actually below Brazil, even. Of course, the United States, further up, number 6, currently in the Great World and the Great Power. And we are 26. So we're actually just a couple ranks below Mexico, which is not too bad. Some of our best friends for this run through are going to be these middle options at the top, or these little icons at the top, I should say. These are going to be things that tell you kind of like what's going on in your country, and especially things that you're missing and things of that nature. So we're going to be looking at that here momentarily. Anything else we got going on right away? We got our military here. Looks like we got 18 troops currently. I believe they might all be infantry. No, we do have 2 cavalry here. So we might want to take a look at that here momentarily. And then, of course, we have the Learn the Game journal entries here. We don't have anything active right now, but as soon as we kind of unpause and cruise along, it'll start giving us a few pieces of advice. Current GDP is number 37 in the world. So even though we're 24 overall, or 26, I should say, we're a minor power. We do have an even lower GDP. So fixing the GDP is going to be very important for us. Also getting some population migration. We want to grow. We've only got about 1.5 million, 1.6 million people here. We definitely want that to increase. This game's going to work a little bit differently than some of the other Paradox games, in the sense that other Paradox games have monarch points, I guess is what they're typically called, where you spend those monarch points, especially EU4, and I think CK3 has a little bit of a kind of that mindset, right? I guess it's not really monarch points CK3, is it? I don't know what it's called to make CK3. But anyway, the general idea here is that you have like excess, abundance and deficits, I guess is maybe the better way to put it. It's okay to run deficits in some cases, right? We have like a little bit of a pool of various things, and it's okay to kind of run a little bit of a deficit, especially the money. Running a deficit of gold can sometimes be the thing that gets you a better GDP and ultimately more gold down the road. I mean, you don't want to run a deficit forever because you obviously have gold reserves here. You don't want to burn through those or else you'll be in debt. But, it's okay if this number is negative sometimes. I mean, because we have a little bit of a reserve here, and we're going to be playing around with that. We do have some menu options here at the bottom. Obviously, we've got a bunch of them over here on the left-hand side. There's our legal stuff, budgets, things like that. We can play around with some of these numbers, change how taxes are going to go. Here's all the buildings. Buildings are going to be a major part of everything that we do. And we'll get into that here as we get a little bit further on. Here's the market. Market is also an extremely major part of everything that we do. The best thing we could probably do for ourselves is try to find somebody whose market we can join. Somebody who's bigger than us, be a part of their market, and benefit from all the goods that they produce and be able to trade with them as well. Obviously, with diplomacy, technology, we'll get into that in a moment. Cultures, we'll have to pay attention to these as just like any other Paradox game. We definitely want to deal with that. Population's a pretty big thing. Similar to how population works in Imperator Rome, populations have needs, right? Different levels of populations have different levels of needs. So that's something we'll be dealing with. We do have a lot of journal stuff here. Obviously, we can, I think, eventually form... I thought I saw Grand Colombia in here before, but maybe I don't... Oh, there it is, Grand Colombia. So I think we might be able to eventually form Grand Colombia. Maybe that's just something else. Who knows? Companies comes in later in the game, and then we got the outliner and the ledger. So nothing really to speak of there. And then the menu options at the bottom are just kind of various little things that we can do. Different lenses that we have. We've got the production lens, we've got the political lens, the diplomatic lens, military lens, and finally the trade lens. So that's all the stuff. We're going to figure out what we need to do here from the very beginning. Well, one of the very first things we want to do is we want to use some of this diplomatic influence to make friends. We need friends. So let's come over here and actually I do want to declare some interest in the Andes down here. Let's go ahead and just lock that in. Make sure we have some interest declared down there. Just declaring interest does not necessarily mean that I am going to conquer them. It just means that I'm interested in what's going on down there. It could be just I want to be friends with you or something like that. We do want to improve relations with somebody because I don't think we have anybody that will give us a trade agreement or anything like that. United States is pretty far off. Great Britain would be another good one. Way far off of Great Britain. We're closer to France than Great Britain as far as that's concerned. Same thing with customs unions. I actually don't know the difference between the customs union and the trade diplomatic pact between the senior partner and one or several junior partners to share a single market under the leadership of the senior partner. And the trade agreement would be what? Oh, it just eliminates terrorists and BR. Okay. So we definitely want to join the customs union of one of the big nations. And then I guess the trade agreement will allow us to make goods, just the goods shipping between us cheaper. We're going to improve relations. Again, I definitely want to try to get Great Britain on our side, although they might be a little bit harder than some of the other ones. I'm also going to go for the United States, even though they're smaller, obviously, than some of these other ones. We know they're going to get big. I mean, the United States is just going to get big. And then I'm also going to be improving relations with, let's try France. I think France would be another, if we couldn't get one of the other two, France could be another backup option. I mean, it's going to use up all of our diplomatic stuff right now, but these aren't going to stick around forever. We'll see who we can make friends with, and we'll kind of go from there. Eventually, one of them will allow us to be part of their customs union, and that will help us out a lot. Military lands, I don't think there's anything we're going to do right this second. Diplomatic, we already did the declared interest. Don't think there's anything else we want to here other than what we did in improving relations. Trade, okay, so here's the thing. We do need to get more iron into our market. We also need to get more hardwood into our market. Now, here's the thing about that. We go look at resources. We do have a boost to hardwood output because of the Amazon rainforest in our states down here. In fact, both of these states actually have that hardwood bonus, which is really nice. The Andes here does make construction and infrastructure, unfortunately, quite a bit harder. So these are not going to be our best, pieces of land. And then, of course, we have Panama here that we want to kind of look at some point. Ecuador does actually have La Costa, which gets us better agriculture and plantation. So if we can take over Ecuador at some point, that might not be a bad idea. Maracaibo here gives us more oil extractors. So there's just a bunch of good little modifiers here. But I think the big one is the hardwood, which again, we're short on right now. So we definitely want to build some more hardwood type of buildings. In fact, let's go check out our buildings, because currently in the rural areas, we do have some logging camps. Now, are they currently focused on hardwood? I think is that the second option here? If we focus on hardwood production, we would get less normal wood, but we would get a lot more hardwood, which presumably would help solve our problem up there at the top. Now, we might make wood more expensive and maybe too expensive, but we can always build more logging camps. So I think I am going to go immediately swap over to that. See if that takes care of our hardwood shortage currently. Which building is it currently? Furniture manufacturer. Okay, so that's fine. So we do have a furniture manufacturer thing right here. Yep, that we do. Currently using... We can actually lower this to use less hardwood, apparently. But also gives us less luxury furniture. I think we're going to leave it as is, because we can definitely make hardwood, and that's going to be okay. As far as iron's concerned, we do have the ability to build iron mines. Do we have any yet? Unless I'm blind, we do not. So, I do think building some iron mines is probably a reasonably good idea. Just to get that rolling right away. We have some in Antioquia. We got quite a few job seekers in this place. Now, it's going to be potentially low earning initially because we will be low on tools, but maybe we just need to build some tool stuff later to make that worth our while. So I think I'm going to go ahead and queue up, I don't know, let's just queue up one for now. Maybe one for now is going to be enough. Yeah, let's just do the one. I'm going to queue up more later. I just kind of want to get started here. We queue up the one, see what that does for us. Which building is it? It's probably the furniture one again here, isn't it? That's actually the barracks. Oh, because of our cavalry units, I bet. All right, fair enough. So we'll get a little bit more iron coming in. Iron shortage, hardwood shortage. We are also apparently short on clippers right now. I'm not going to be worried too much about that right this second. And then we also have low standard of living. Most likely, if I had to guess, this is very likely because certain goods are expensive. So yeah, we're starving down here. Their biggest need is, their largest expense is grain. Grain is apparently very expensive right now in our local market. In fact, if we were to sort by market prices, I mean, grain is not crazy high, but truth be told, for some of your basic needs like grain, we probably want this to be lower than this kind of value here. The different coin stacks tell you kind of approximately kind of the values here. Gold is obviously way above value. I think Silver is just a little bit above value, and then I think we get down to the copper. It becomes kind of closer to base value. I guess maybe once we get to the lower stacks of silver, it actually shows it's actually lower than base price. So it's just that we're at a higher stack of silver here, I guess, is what we're looking at maybe. It's hard to kind of read, but I know there's a copper one as well that puts you well below the base price. I mean, there's certain goods that we probably are going to be okay with being below base price just because they're just there to supply needs for our people. So in order to get more, to lower the price of our grain, we do have rice farms, which are currently giving us grain. We also have maize farms. They're not giving us near as much grain at the moment. They're actually capable of doing other things, though. This one can do fig orchards, which can get us some sugar. This one can do us citrus orchards, which can also get us some sugar. I think we're going to do another rice farm. Let's just start with something simple. Let's just do one. We got a lot of people in. Actually, you know what? Let's do a couple of them. We're going to do about 3 of them here in this province up here. It's got quite a few workers. It's going to be very valuable. And hopefully that will lower the price of grain down low enough that our people will be happy. All right. Anything else I want to do? Oh, yes. Yes. Before I unpause. That's the big thing about games like this. Sometimes you do a lot of things before you ever unpause the very, very beginning. I do want to come in here to our military. I'm actually going to change. I don't want to change it. I want to change it. How do I? Oh, there we go. Just want to change it to like something that I can kind of recognize as this is our primary just base force. I don't know. Let's do that one. That's kind of our primary force. And I don't know. I'm just going to label. Do I want you to be blue? Actually, I don't think I do. I'm just going to leave you at white. I don't care about the name right now. I just want to make sure that I know that this is kind of my primary force if we do, in fact, add some more later. We do have a general right here. He doesn't have any special orders at all. I mean, it would be nice to get a different general at some point, but none of these guys have special orders either, so we'll kind of wait around. We'll just live with this guy for now. For some reason, his commandment limit's only 39. Oh, actually, it's 39 is high. I was reading 39 as like being off by 1. Because I thought maybe it was default 40, but he's actually default 30 at his level. And he's got a 30% increase. That's not bad. All right, he's a celebrity. Okay, well, good for him. So the general balance here, as far as I understand it, is that you just want the artillery and cavalry are kind of be your primary, like, do either damage or push into enemy territory type of forces, and infantry is just there to kind of balance everything. Now, infantry is obviously very cheap and probably the best for defense. So if you're just purely defending, you might just do pure infantry. Maybe put a couple of these in there. If you're going to be attacking, you're probably going to want maybe half your military be infantry, probably a quarter to, whatever, 7, a quarter to a little bit more than that, maybe a third of your military being artillery, and then do the rest. You still want some cavalry because they're very good at occupying the battlefields, and that's how you're going to be able to push and stuff like that. So a couple things I want to do is I do want to come in here and look at our cavalry, and we have some irregular infantry right now that are just garbage. I do want to go ahead and upgrade these, which is going to demobilize them initially and then get them upgraded. And then I also want to upgrade our lancers. Now our lancers are 30 offense, 20 defense, or sorry, 30 offense, 20 defense. Whereas we can get these cuirassiers. Wait, are they worse? Why? I thought the lancers were worse. I'm suddenly confused. What do we got here? Oh, we actually have some lancers. I misunderstood. Oh, lancers are actually down here. We don't even have the technology for lancers. Weird. So we actually have some pretty good guys here. Now, they're very expensive. They're going to take a lot of iron, which is where our iron shortage is coming from. But so I don't think I want to reform them. If we can keep them, if we just have them because cool reasons, then maybe there's no negatives here to have them those stuck around. I do think I want to add a few more of everything. We don't have any cannons available right now. If I go in here, we can't actually make any cannons just yet. But we could get some more line infantry as well. And I think I do want to build up my forces. Just because I played, like I said, about a year into the game. And I know there's an event coming up that might warrant us having a little bit of a military. So let's come in here. Let's plan on building up a little bit more of a military. Probably from our big province here. What did I say we're at? We're at 12 plus 4. So we're at 16 and 2, and we can hold 39. I might go like 30, and honestly, I might go 30 and 9, something of that nature. So for now, let's just get about 4 more of these for now. Just to get us started. And I kind of want like 3 more of these. Oh, did we not make any of these? Never mind. Could we make one of the other ones? We could make dragoons, which dragoons are better at defending than offensive, but what is it we can't, why can't we make the cursors? What is the, what's the reasoning here? Oh, we need the iron to come in before we can make the cursors. We could bring in a trade route. Okay, let's go look at trade routes real quick. Because trade routes is another way to bring in some iron. We might even bring in some iron temporarily until we can get our stuff built up. So if we go look at the trade routes, we do have the option of, we can move our market or whatever, but we could import stuff. In fact, let's take a look at what trade routes we currently have. Go look at our current trade routes. We do actually have a trade route for sugar that it does not look very profitable at the moment. So we might actually want to cancel this one just because it's not actually doing a good thing for us. The rest of these seem like they're okay. We are importing small arms, clippers, and luxury clothes. We're currently exporting coffee. I might just unpause the game and we'll reevaluate this one. So I'm not going to change that one just yet. We'll unpause, we'll reevaluate this. Maybe it'll be better here in a moment. But I do want to import potentially some iron just until we can get things under control. Once we get those things built, maybe we can cancel it. But we got some available bureaucracy, so we might as well take advantage of it. Looks like we can import from Mexico, so that'll at least get rid of that first one. And if we go look at hardwood... am I blind? Oh, it's alphabetical. I was like looking for down the bottom. We do have some options to get some hardwood here from America. And so I think we'll import some of that. Get rid of that option. Just so we can continue to make the furniture that we have. And then we might as well go look and see if we've got any exports that we can do. Clothes. I'm assuming, and I'm hoping that this is true, that these numbers are pretty relevant, are pretty representative of what we're looking for. So it looks like exporting some fruits could be valuable to us. Liquor might not be bad. Exporting some luxury furniture. This is probably what we want to do the most because we're importing hardwood. Let's turn that into luxury furniture and then export that right back out again. I think that's going to be a good one for us. Tobacco could be good. Wood could be good. I think I'm going to hold off on the liquor and the tobacco for now because if we come into our military, because we already produced both of those, there's an option here for mobilization just to make our military better. And we can turn on, we got chocolate, which we also do produce sugar. So I'm honestly probably tempted to just turn on all 3 of these. Now, we might not have enough to supply all 3 of these right at the beginning here, but we can adjust. Once we see what we need, then we can just build more things to supply our military with the goods that they have. And that's 30% more morale recovery, which, if it works like just about any other Paradox game, is pretty big. All right, so we've taken care of trade. We've taken care of our needs up here. Hardwood still shortage. We still want to get some more hardwood. We're going to work on that. We've still got population issues, which we're trying to work on as well. We've got diplomacy actions happening. We're trying to improve some relations with a few people. Nothing else to go. I think we can officially unpause. Am I forgetting? I feel like I'm forgetting something, but I think we can. Oh, I know what I'm forgetting. Let's go look at our laws real quick and our government. So our government currently is primarily controlled by the Conservative Party. In fact, it is entirely controlled by the Conservative Party. We've got the landowners and the Catholic Church in here now. We could reform the government and potentially bring in, like, say, the armed forces or something like that. I think I'm going to wait till an election just to kind of see how things are until we worry about bringing them in. Armed forces could be good to bring in at some point, at least if we're going to go to war, I believe. But these guys definitely want different things for different reasons. And so right now we're very conservative. It's just going to be the way it is. But let's go see if we can pass any laws. I don't think we have any institutions at the beginning here. We do not. We can pass some laws here. For example, we could always go back to a monarchy if we wanted to. I don't know if there's any specific value in doing that, but it's interesting. We could change the voting laws. Right now we're on wealth voting. I think long term we would want to go like universal suffrage or something like that. These are not really in order, it's any sort of like hierarchy order. These are just kind of in here. So we might want to take a look at this and kind of figure out what is ultimately better for us. I mean, honestly, for us, maybe landed voting is better or something like that. So we'll poke around with things. Racial segregation. I mean, if anything, I would like to go for multiculturalism because this will allow us to, I think, accept more cultures and hopefully bring in more people from the outside to help just grow our military, or grow our, not military, our country. We do currently have a professional army. We could move up to national militia, which would allow us to get even more battalions. Three battalions can be mobilized. Can we not mobilize our entire military? Pretty sure we can, right? Sorry about that. I'm sure why my other computer's making noises. If we go look at the military, can we not mobilize everybody right now? That would seem really strange to me. Military. I go to look at our army. I mean, we're not in diplomatic play right now, but are we not? I'm assuming we're able to mobilize this entire group. Like, why would we not be able to? This feels very strange. So I don't understand the three. Obviously, like I said, there's still things I need to learn about this game. I'm very, very, very new into that part of it. So I'm not going to worry about that right now. Professional army sounds official and things. Is that a different icon? Is that the conscription icon? No, that's the regulars. Yeah, conscripts are this one with the, they don't have they don't have the little official uniform hat. They've got like a cloth knit cap or something like that. So I'm not sure about that one. Okay, but anyway, if we go poke around some of these other ones, we do have the ability to change our taxation. I think per capita is okay for the moment. But I think a big one we might want to look at is our school system. We do currently have the Catholic Church in our government. And so, yeah, is religious schools the best one? No, of course not. I mean, obviously coming all the way down to public schools would be great. But religious schools is better than nothing because at least gives it some educational access. And so I think we can pass this. It's only 21% right now, but that's just because a lot of people are currently indifferent. We'll get that rolling, and that's going to be voted on at some point, and that'll at least give us, it'll give the Catholics more power, but it will give us some education. I think education as a whole is a good thing for us. Okay, so that's government. We got dealt with the politics. We dealt with the budget. I don't think I need to change anything for the budget. I mean, if anything, I might actually bump up the military wages at some point. Don't think we need to worry about that right this second. If we do get into war, we might look into that. We already looked at the buildings a little bit. There's more we could look at, but I don't feel like an urgent need to change anything else other than that we just changed with the logging camps, switching them over to hardwood. And then we looked at the market, and we've looked at military. Everything else will start coming up as time allows. So let's go ahead and pause for the first time and see where we get this. Okay, so we do have some journal stuff, and this is going to be part of just holding our hand a little bit. That does want to expand a building here, just to kind of teach us how to do that. We can also see why do you want us to do that, you know. How do we do that? So we're going to go into the maze here, and we're going to expand this by 1. I think is all we have to do. We'll plop this down in. And we got more. Actually, we got pretty good infrastructure here. So let's go ahead. I think it specifically wants level 3. So I think we will plop this up to level 3. But I think Antiquoia, whatever, is potentially a better option for us down the road. And on that note, after we've unpaused for 9 days, I think, because we started on January 1st, we are going to go ahead and put a cut in there. I realize it's crazy to go 28 minutes into an episode and basically have not unpaused, but that's your typical Paradox game. Typically, you don't get an unpause in the first. There's so much to do at the beginning, but now that we've got everything set, now we can start reacting and kind of planning things out and going from there. So in the next episode, we will definitely unpause for more than 9 days and see where that goes. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this series as much as I think I'm going to enjoy it. I definitely think I'm going to enjoy it more than I enjoyed Victoria 2, which was not at all, quite frankly. I just realized we're up here in Canada. But we will see how things go. I think Colombia's going to be good. I think it's got some interesting political plays that we can kind of play around with. At the end of the day, though, if we could just get like, I don't know, if we got to a top 10 economy with Colombia, I would consider that a pretty big success. We shall see. But without further ado, I'm going to go to put a cut in there. When we come back, more of Colombia. Please, as usual, if you do like to see these videos and want to see more of them, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification, comment below, consider becoming a channel member, all the things that help with the algorithms and bibbly-bobbity boos. And it helps make the channel grow and helps me know that you guys do appreciate the things that I do, which I appreciate your appreciation. But anyway, may God bless you. I do hope you join me again next time. Thank you and goodbye. I wanted to give a special shout out to the following channel members. Thank you so much for supporting the channel.